Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the live broadcast. It's the finale of the Dear Me Challenge. I'm so excited to be here on this final day. Whether this is your first time or you've been here with us for the past few weeks, I want to say welcome. This is an exciting day. It's a day of completion. So I am super excited. I'm proud of myself. And if you committed to being here for the month of October with me and you are here on the finale, you should be proud of yourself too. All right. So tonight's live will not be long. And as you come in, leave me a comment and let me know where you're watching me from. Say hello to me so I can say hi to you. And if you're watching this on the replay, please hashtag replay so I can also come and say hello to you. Again, today is exciting. Whenever you get to a place where you complete what you said you were going to do, it's an amazing day. And if this is your first day, I want to let you know that this challenge is in alignment with my best-selling book, Dear Me, I See You. It's a collaboration of intimate letters from a woman's heart to the little girl within. I am the visionary of this anthology, along with 4 other amazing authors. We released this book in August as a bestseller in multiple categories, and we are truly excited about it. I believe that Dear Me, I See You is a declaration. It's a declaration from any woman to herself to no longer be in hiding, to no longer allow her experiences in life to hide her from herself and hide her from the world. I believe that we all have something amazing inside of us that's meant for us to not only discover ourselves, but also to share with the world, to share with our tribe, to share with those people that we are meant to help, to serve as those that walk along this journey with us, those that become our clients, those that we engage with. And if we allow ourselves to be hidden because of what we've been through, because of life's experiences, not only do we miss out, but they miss out also. So if you have not ordered your copy of Dear Me, I See You, you can order it on Amazon if you want to get the ebook. But if you want to get a signed copy, I want you to go to the link that's going below the screen and order your copy today. And I'll be sure to sign that and get that right out to you. Also, I want to say that this book is something that I learned to do, the writing part. I learned to do a while ago, going through counseling, going through coaching, was to write letters to myself. I wrote letters to the different people that were a part of my story as a part of my healing. But the hardest letters, just like sometimes forgiveness, for writing to yourself and writing your own journey and speaking to yourself in a way that's not condemning, is hard. So I learned that writing letters to yourself allows you to see yourself. It allows you to come in connection with yourself in a deeper way. It allows you to see what's real and get it out of your head. It's just like journaling. Whenever you write it, it can become real and you get it out of your head. Dear Me, I See You is also about getting those things out of your spirit and getting those things out of your heart, right? And those things to me are so powerful, because those are the things that I've done for myself to help get me to today, and that I will continue to do today. So pick up your copy today at the link that's going below the video. I want to hear from you as far as how this challenge has helped you in any way. I want to hear, what were your aha moments? And I know that there's a delay on the video. Facebook has been having some issues earlier, But I thank God that we will not have any technical issues during this broadcast. So let's get started here with today's message. Today's message says, "Dear me, I trust you now." Can you say that to yourself? Dear me, I trust you now. If you remember the first day, we talked about self-abandonment to self-trust. That was the beginning. Many times when we say we're going to do something and we don't complete it, I've shared my journey with you on how that hindered me in many ways. When you say you're going to do something and you don't finish it, you learn to not trust yourself. You learn to not trust your word. Let me take these off. We don't want any distractions, and it's making noise. Sorry about that. When we give up on ourselves, when we say we're going to do something, we're going to complete something, we're not going to do something, we're not going to let down our guard or let certain people in or whatever that is for you. And then we find ourselves going back on our word. Just like with anybody else, you stop trusting yourself. So my hope is that going through this month of this challenge, this journey, that you are learning to trust yourself now. Can you say to yourself, "Dear me, I trust you now"? Because as I'm on this final day, I can say that to myself in a deeper way. Maybe in other areas of my life where I couldn't say that before. But today is a day of completion, not only for me, but for you. I want you to understand that changing your life is done one step at a time, just like the steps that were made to get you to that place where you don't trust yourself. It was one step at a time, one action or a lack thereof, because the lack of action can also stop us from trusting ourselves, as I said a few minutes ago. So what do you need to do today to learn how to say that to yourself? Dear me, and say it with your chest. Dear me, I trust you now. Dear me, I trust you now. What type of relationship do you have with the people that you trust? Because I want you to look at how you interact with other people is the same way you interact with yourself. If you have this perceived idea that everybody wants something from you, that you have this brick concrete wall up, brick and concrete, put it all together. You have this wall up believing that everyone that comes to your life, everyone that wants to connect with you, they want something from you. You're so suspicious of them, and it's because of your experiences. Even when a client wants to come to you to talk to you about the service that you offer, even though you're telling them what they need to know about you and how you can help them, in the back of your mind, you're wondering, what do they really want from me? What I'm telling you today and what I've told you over this month are the things I've experienced. I've also said during this challenge that many people don't do a lot of personal development because they don't think that it has any impact on their professional development. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. I'm here to tell you also that that's how it has shown up in my life. Thinking people always want something is another way of saying I felt like a victim. I felt like a victim. I felt like they were going to do to me what the other people had done. And again, being in the hood of victim is a place that we go when we don't address the things that have hurt us, that have changed how we see ourselves. It's not saying those things didn't happen to you and you shouldn't feel some way about it, but how is it showing up in your life now? Do you still feel as if it's woe is me and everyone wants to hurt me and everyone wants to take from me, me? And that's not the case. You put up this wall to keep people out, but you also keep yourself out of living the life that you're meant to live because you still see yourself as a victim. I remember in my second or third book, I can't remember, but I remember I had to divorce. I said I had to divorce the hood of victim That was the hood I needed to leave. It had become my home. It was my comfortable place. It was what I knew all too well. And it showed up personally and it showed up professionally. It showed up when I needed help. It showed up when I was afraid to ask for help because subconsciously, I believe that everybody wanted to take something from me. I had learned how to not believe in myself. So why would anybody else believe in me? They must want something from me. How does that sound to you? Does it resonate with you? Does that sound like a place that you've been in, but you're ready to leave? In order for you to be able to say, "Dear me, I trust you now," you must begin to take the steps to regain your own sense of trust in you. Again, how you relate to other people many times is how you relate to yourself. How you show up for yourself is how you show up in your commitments and the things you said that you will do for other people, whether it's business or personal. It's because of how you relate to yourself. This journey was about going a little deeper in understanding that professional development and personal development, they work together. Because if you don't work on your heart, if you don't work on your mindset, if you don't work on your self view and your identity, then it's going to show up in your professional life. And you'll start getting to those places where you can't seem to understand why you aren't getting any further in life. Why is it you have the degrees, you have the knowledge, you have the understanding, you have the ability to be a great coach, to be a writer, whatever your profession is, and yet there's always something that seems to tug at you from the back and it stops you in place? If you're tired of that, you will begin your Dear Me journey and begin to address the truth of why you keep getting the tug from the back. What is it really? What's in your identity that's stopping you from going forth boldly, not feeling like an imposter, not feeling like a fraud, not feeling like you're not good enough, but to be able to boldly take another step so that you can begin to trust yourself. I remember for many years, I took every rejection as a personal rejection. My counselor, my coach, at different stages would tell me, you can't internalize no every time you hear it as if something's wrong with you or they're personally rejecting you. They may just not want your offer right now. They may not want to buy your books right now. They may not want to take your course right now. That's their personal choice. But to someone who hadn't dealt with rejection and abandonment and saw herself as less than, even after years of working on myself, there were still those things that would show up in my life because I hadn't fully dealt with them. And they were showing up personally and they were showing up professionally and they were colliding with each other. Where in your life are you colliding with what you say you want and who you are in the moment? Because who you are, who you see yourself to be, will determine how far you go in your personal life and your professional life. So again, here we are on the finale. And I don't know about you, but I'm proud of myself. This Mississippi born girl is changing her identity one step at a time. And I want you to do the same thing too. Define for yourself right now, where is it in your life where you don't trust yourself? Where is it in your life where you have betrayed your own trust? Where is it in your life where you are ready to pull down the curtain and kick down the wall, whether it's mentally or emotionally, wherever it is for you? You have to be the one to decide that I give myself permission to no longer allow this to hold me back. I want to trust myself. Think about it when someone betrays your trust, whether it's someone you're in a relationship with, a guy you're in a relationship with, a friend that you're building relationships, or you've been in that relationship with them for a while. What keeps showing up for you? What keeps showing up? There are cycles that we have in our life, and in these different relationships, even though they are with different people, that cycle shows up. You don't trust people when you don't trust yourself. You see them through the eyes of rejection. You see them through the eyes of who betrayed you before. If they do anything that reminds you of what has happened to you, you immediately see that they're going to hurt you too. Whether they do it intentionally or it's how you see it, which is your perception. And you will keep damaging those relationships until you decide, is this real or is this just me? And not in a condemning way, but in an honest way. Because just like those relationships, you want them to be honest with you. You want them to understand you. You don't want them to perceive you in the wrong way. You want to be heard and you want to be seen. And I want to tell you, you must first start with yourself. And this can come at any stage of your life. This can come at any time. The moment that you decide that you're ready to do it and you do it is when you can begin to learn how to trust yourself. And this is not just about childhood things. This is about life things. At any stage of your life, you can choose to analyze, assess where you are, where you're lacking trust in you, and put your foot going forward and take the steps to be able to learn to trust yourself again. Let's look at it this way. If you don't trust yourself because you'll say you're going to work on losing weight, and you find yourself falling back into old habits very easily, and then when you find that you have stopped doing what you said you were going to do, then you don't believe in yourself. Then you start feeling like, well, why even do it? Why even say it? Because it doesn't work. It doesn't work because you weren't consistent. It doesn't work because you didn't keep going. So if you're going to look at weight loss or getting healthy, start writing down, what do you think about? What do you feel when you're wanting to go in that direction to get healthier? And then I want you to write down, what are the obstacles that usually come up for you when you decide you're going to do this? Whether it's time, whether it's eating the wrong foods, whether it's not exercising, whether it's how you think about yourself in that process. And then I want you to write down what thought process, what thoughts do you need to change, and what do you need to think about yourself for you to be able to reach that goal. When you decide on what those steps are that you're going to take, put a finish date on it. Sometimes not starting with 30 days or 90 days is better. You can start with a 7-day goal of committing for yourself. This is what I'm going to do for me. This is when I'm going to do this. This is how I'm going to do this. And from day 1 to day 7, do it. It's simple as that. We can all do that. We never get to that point where we arrive to where we don't have to do a heart check and we don't have to do a reassessment of how we're keeping our word to ourselves. So as you are leaving out of this challenge, I don't know yet if I haven't decided yet if I'm going to leave these videos up. But if you can't do anything for yourself today, begin to write out a plan for yourself of the next 7 days. This is what I'm going to do for myself. Doesn't have to be huge. It just has to be something you can start, commit, and finish. And each time you do that, you build upon steps after step to learn to trust yourself again. When you learn to trust yourself, you see yourself differently. You will be surprised at how many things can change in your life when you actively take steps to begin to trust you. When you can learn to trust that woman that's looking back at you in the mirror, you will show up differently. You show up more confidently when you trust yourself. I know I do. In different areas, when I trust myself, I show up more confidently. I can deal with the negative mental chatter in a different way because it can't lie to me anymore. Starting this challenge to me was about being committed to finishing, because there's power in finishing whatever you start for yourself. There's power in finishing what you decide you're going to do for yourself. And so on this day, this last day of the finale, this finale day, something keeps changing on the screen is distracting me. But there is power in finishing. And you feel more confident when you get across that finish line. You just need to decide, what is the finish line for you? What does it look like for you to keep your word to yourself? Get across that finish line, whether it's 3 days, 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, whatever that looks like for you. What does that mean to you to do that for yourself? All right. So I said that, excuse me, tonight was not going to be long, and I'm going to honor my word. I want to say to you, I'm proud of you for finishing. Whether you were here one day or you only came in for a few minutes, if you continued the work, then I want you to celebrate yourself for taking time for yourself, to doing the work, to making small changes, committing to those changes, and getting across the finish line. I want you to begin to say to yourself, write it down in your journal. Say it to yourself when you look yourself in the mirror in the mornings. Dear me, I trust you now. Dear me, I trust you now. Say it until you believe it. Write it until you believe it. Take a step every day to change it. Change the habit of not finishing. Change the habit of not trusting yourself. Change the habit of seeing yourself wrong. And change your identity so you can begin to trust you again. All right? So thank you so much for being on this journey with me. I pray that it's been a blessing to you. I pray that something I've said, something I've shared has helped you. And if you believe that others can benefit from these videos, go ahead and share them out. I still want to hear from you, so you can leave your comments even after the live is over. All right. So thanks so much for being here. That is day 8 of our challenge. And until next time, God bless you, and I'll talk to you soon.